Imepotea. Kule juu kama mna hiyo kitabu tafadhali hebu tuangalie wimbo mpya. Nyimbo cia kuinira Ngai namba mugwanja. Anga ni Jesu we unyendete. Jesu we unyendete. I think we all know that. 36. Nyendete ningurira hariwe riria mbara inene nowe wakuhonokia ithambaru-inĩ ciaku niĩ mũndũ mũthĩni honokia Ngai wakwa gitĩra muoyo wakwa wĩhitho wakwa nowe na mũrũ wakwa nowe ndikaingatwo harĩwe njoya ũnjĩtĩkĩre niĩ nĩngwĩhokete nowe ũteithio wakwa ona mwĩgitio wakwa ũndorerie thũ ciakwa wega wothe nĩ waku wohanĩri no waku Mwathani ndanyihĩrwo njiyũria wega waku Jesu ndakwamũkĩra we gĩthima kĩa muoyo therũka thĩinĩ wakwa nginya tene na tene. Tunakushukuru Mungu mwema kwa sababu ya ukuu wako. Kwa hakika tumekiri kwa vinywa vyetu ati wewe ni Mungu pamoja nasi. Umetupenda Bwana na ukatupa hii nafasi ili tuje kwa nyumba yako tukaweza kusikia neno lako. Kwa sababu bila wewe Bwana sisi ni bure. Hatuwezi tukawa Bwana kama hatuna nguvu inayotoka kwako. Tukifanya mambo yetu, tukienda kwa biashara zetu, hata Bwana mahali kule tumeajiriwa makazi Bwana. Diposa tuko na sababu ya kuja hapa jioni hii njema tukushukuru na tulihimidi jina lako kwa sababu wewe ni mkuu. Asanti kwa sababu ya kutukumbusha ati wewe unatupenda. Wakati mwingine Bwana tunakutwa na mambo mazito yanatusukuma mpaka saa zingine Bwana tunasikia tumefinyika. Lakini kwa sababu ya huo upendo Mungu wetu unatuwezesha kukumbuka ati wewe Bwana unatujali. Tuko hapa Bwana ukanene nasi, ukatuongeze nguvu, ukatutie nguvu Bwana hata katika hii safari ya kwenda mbinguni. Kwa sababu wakati huu ni wakati mgumu sana, lakini unatuambia tukiweka imani Bwana utakuwa kutushindania. Asanti kwa sababu ya mzee yote umeweza kumfikisha mahali hapa. Tunajua wazee wako na mambo mingi ya kuangalia nchi, kuangalia familia. Hata Bwana kanisa lako linategemea sana wazee. Wale hawajafika Bwana tunakuomba ukaweze kuwafikisha. Hata na wale hawataweza kufika Bwana, neno lako likija uwafikishie kwa sababu wewe ni Mungu wetu pamoja. Wewe ni Mungu uishie milele, diposa tuaja kwako kwa kushukuru na kuliinua jina lako. Tuwezeshe Bwana tukianza hii ibada yetu, tuweze Bwana kutembelewa na Roho wako Mtakatifu, na tukitoka hapa Bwana tutasema tumekutana na wewe. Na hili ni ombi la imani katika jina la Mungu Baba, Mungu Mwana na Mungu Roho Mtakatifu. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Amen. Basi tutaweza kupata sifa na pambio. Bwana Karaoke. atatusaidia. Praise and worship ona tugina na Gikuyu no njega kana Gathogo. Yeah, you can come forward, Gathogo. Ni vizuri wazee tuweze hata sisi kujua kuimba, kwa sababu when we are praising our God or when we are singing to our God, pia ni baraka.
Bwana asifiwe. Usiende, ni back up. Guturaho, guturaho, guturaho thakame-inĩ ya Jesu. Guturaho hau, guturaho, guturaho thakame-inĩ ya Jesu. Kaĩ hena kĩ hau, kaĩ hena kĩ, kaĩ hena kĩ thakame-inĩ ya Jesu. Kaĩ hena kĩ hau, kaĩ hena kĩ, kaĩ hena kĩ thakame-inĩ ya Jesu. Muoyo mwerũ hau, muoyo mwerũ, muoyo mwerũ thakame-inĩ ya Jesu. Muoyo mwerũ hau, muoyo mwerũ, muoyo mwerũ thakame-inĩ ya Jesu. Kaĩ hena kĩ hau, kaĩ hena kĩ, kaĩ hena kĩ thakame-inĩ ya Jesu. Kaĩ hena kĩ hau, kaĩ hena kĩ, kaĩ hena kĩ thakame-inĩ ya Jesu. Kuoherwo mehia hau, kuoherwo mehia,
kuoherwo mehia thakame-inĩ
ya Jesu. Kuoherwo mehia hau, kuoherwo mehia, kuoherwo mehia thakame-inĩ ya Jesu. Tũtũreho hau, tũtũreho, tũtũreho thakame-inĩ ya Jesu. Tũtũreho hau, tũtũreho, tũtũreho thakame-inĩ ya Jesu. Gũkinyũkia o kahora, njerekeire o matu-inĩ, na nĩ njũĩ nĩ ngakinya niĩ ngahurũke, na Mwathani nĩ wega
Ngai mũtongoria.
Nake Jesu nĩ mũgate, Roho waku mũnyotokia, niĩ ndikahũta kana nyote. Rĩrĩa ngũigua ta ingĩnoga, hinya mũingĩ nĩheagwo, ngomĩrĩria ngarathimwo, ngakinyũkia rũgendo-inĩ nĩ wega
Ngai mũtongoria.
Nake Jesu nĩ mũgate, Roho waku mũnyotokia, niĩ ndikahũta kana nyote. Ngo ya itimũ na ngo yakwa nĩ maandĩko ma Mwathani, ndĩthiaga oro hamwe na irio ciakwa rũgendo-inĩ nĩ wega
Ngai mũtongoria.
Nake Jesu nĩ mũgate, Roho waku mũnyotokia, niĩ ndikahũta kana nyote. Rĩrĩa ngũigua ta ingĩnoga, hinya mũingĩ nĩheagwo, ngomĩrĩria ngarathimwo, ngakinyũkia rũgendo-inĩ nĩ wega
Ngai mũtongoria.
Nake Jesu nĩ mũgate, Roho waku mũnyotokia, niĩ ndikahũta kana nyote. Touch me once more, touch me once more, touch me once more, Lord, touch me once more. Touch me once more. Touch me once more. Touch me once more, Lord. Touch me once more. Bless me once more. Bless me once more. Bless me once more, Lord. Bless me once more. Heal me once more.
Heals me
Once more. Heal me once more, Lord. Heal me once more. Niguze tena. Niguze tena. Niguze tena, Baba. Niguze tena. Niokoe tena. Niokoe tena. Niokoe tena, Baba. Niokoe te. Tiga ware mwena wako kedoerera. Thosya ngoro yakwa nĩcingĩahotire. Tiga wanjaragĩria kanjĩra atĩrĩ, mothe mekĩkaga nĩguo nyone wega. Igũrũ
rĩa
maũndũ mothe wĩ Ngai wĩkaga magegania, ũiyũrĩte hinya.
Na nĩkĩo ngoro yakwa
ĩiyũire gĩkeno nĩ kũmenya ndĩ nawe, wĩ mũndũ wĩrĩri. Nĩ kũmenya ndĩ nawe, wĩ mũndũ wĩrĩri.
Na tuombe. Ngai mwega, Ngai mũmbi na Ngai mũtũra muoyo, nĩ tũgũka mbere yaku Ngai tũgĩgũcokeria ngatho nĩ gũkorwo nĩ ũtwĩkĩte maũndũ mega. Nĩ wega Ngai nĩ gũkorwo nĩ ũtindanĩtie na ithuĩ kuma rũcinĩ gwata nginya mahinda maya. Tũragũcokeria ngatho na tũkauga rĩtwa rĩaku rĩrombarario na rĩrombarario kũna. Nĩ wega Ngai nĩ ũndũ wa aya mokĩte kũigua kiugo gĩaku Ngai. Nĩ wega Ngai nĩ ũndũ wa arĩa marathikĩrĩria online, mũthamaki mwega. Twakũhoya ũtũrathime ithuothe Ngai. Nĩ tũrarehe mũheani wa kiugo mbere yaku Ngai. Tũgakũria kĩrĩa atũharĩrĩirie mũthamaki mwega, arokorwo atongoretio nĩ Roho Mũtheru. Reke atũihũrĩre, tũtuĩke a kũrathimwo, tũtuĩke a kũgunĩka ngoro citũ. Na wona weka ũguo ngumo na ũgoci-inĩ ciaku Ngai, rĩ nĩ ihoya rĩa wĩtĩkio thĩinĩ wa rĩtwa rĩa Jesũ Kristo twahoya na twetĩkia. Amen.
Haya basi, tutaketi, tutaweza kupata somo letu. Gitau nĩngũkũria uke ututhomere Genesis 37 23 to 28. Genesis 37 23 to 28. 8. Genesis.
Genesis 37. to 28. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Ngwĩciria ithuothe twĩ hau kĩambĩrĩria mũrango 37 kwambĩrĩria 43 nginya 48 na nĩngũthoma na Gĩthweri. Ikawa Yusufu alipofika kwa ndugu zake, wakamvua Yusufu kanzu yake, kanzu ile ndefu aliyoivaa, wakamtupa katika birika, na hiyo birika ilikuwa tupu, hamna maji. Nao wakakaa kitako kula chakula, wakainua macho yao, wakaona msafara wa Waismaeli wanakuja wakitoka Gileadi na ngamia zao, wakichukua ubani na zeri na manemane, wakisafiri kuvichukua mpaka Misri. Yuda akawaambia ndugu zake, kwafaa nini kumuua ndugu yetu na kuificha damu yake? Haya, na tumuuze kwa hawa Waismaeli, wala mikono yetu isimdhuru, maana yeye ni ndugu yetu na damu yetu. Ndugu zake wakakubali. Ya mwisho, wakapita wafanya biashara wa Midiani, basi wakamtoa Yusufu, wakampandisha kumtoa katika birika, wakamuuza Yusufu kwa Ismaeli kwa vipande vya fedha 20, nao wakamchukua Yusufu mpaka Misri. Nĩtwa rĩa Ngai na kiugo gĩake gĩtuĩke gĩa kũrathimwo.
Basi tutasimama ili tupate wimbo wa kuita mhubiri, na kule juu tutawekewa ni rwimbo namba 239 iria ngũrũ, 284 iria njerũ. Magerio ni maki. Elda Mwema utatuongoza hii.
Magerio ni maki, ni magũkuonagia ndũrĩ ũrakinya gwaku igũrũ. Ũngĩenda kuona hinya wa mũtharaba, ũtarie tarĩ kĩama, ndũkorie magerio. Wona wagerio ndũgatetie Ngai, Ngai ndageranagia, nĩ mwĩkanĩri hinya. Ũngĩenda kuona hinya wa mũtharaba, ũtarie tarĩ kĩama, ndũkorie magerio. Tiga gwĩtigĩra ona ũngĩgerio, tondũ nĩ kĩheo irio cia mũgendi. Ũngĩenda kuona hinya wa mũtharaba, ũtarie tarĩ kĩama, ndũkorie magerio. Kũgerio tũgeragio, na kũgwa tũgũaga, ona gũtungumanio, ĩndĩ tũtikahotwo. Ũngĩenda kuona hinya wa mũtharaba, ũtarie tarĩ kĩama, ndũkorie magerio. Mũndũ ũgeragio nĩ mũrata wa Ngai, na ũrĩa ũhotagwo matirĩ na ũrata. Ũngĩenda kuona hinya wa mũtharaba, ũtarie tarĩ kĩama, ndũkorie magerio. Wona twagerio na ningĩ twatoria, nĩguo tũgakinya gwitũ igũrũ. Ũngĩenda kuona hinya wa mũtharaba, ũtarie tarĩ kĩama, ndũkorie magerio. Ketini tuombe. Baba, tunakushukuru jioni njema kwa kuwa ni nafasi njema hii umetupe, ndio tuje hapa tushiriki neno lako, utumegee mkate wako wa uzima. Twaomba Baba utusaidie kuweka fikira yetu na mtazamo wetu kwako, ndio mioyo yetu uweze kunyenyezia chakula ya kiroho hiyo ambayo Baba utatutumia zote pamoja kushiriki hapa. Baba, nibariki ninapotumika kama mfereji, niwe mfereji uliotakasika, na niweze kunena neno lako ambalo litabariki wana wako. Pia usinipite, unibariki pamoja na wao. Naye shetani tunamkanyanga miguuni mwetu na tunasema hata kama tutajaribiwa tutashinda. Katika jina la Yesu tumeomba. Amen. Amen. Tutagwo mwema na hatie mũndũ ũtanjũĩ, niyo ndio na mũndũ itoi. Yesu ni Bwana na ni Mwokozi wa maisha yangu. Hata jioni njema na mfurahia kwa kunihifadhi, kunipe uhai, kunipe afya na kunipe baraka zote za mahitaji yangu. Amekuwa Mungu mwaminifu, hajaniacha, lakini amekaa pamoja nami, na mimi nasema ni mwaminifu. Ni asanti. Leo ni kama Joseph ndio wako kazi. Naona Joseph Gathogo alikuwa kazi. Mimi ni Joseph. Pia tumesoma Joseph, na pia naona Joseph Mungai. Kuna Joseph mwingine? Joseph Mashalia. Unaona Joseph ni wengi. Joseph wanakuwaga watu wazuri, na jina Joseph maana yake ni increase. All right? The meaning of Joseph is increase. Na tutaona mtu hapa aki-increase. Huyu tumesoma, tutamuona aki-increase. Now, our reading, tumesomewa hapo kutoka Kiebrania 37 mstari 23 to 28. Maneno ya Joseph. I talk about Joseph a lot. I think munisamehe. I think any time I am told to preach mambo ya Joseph, you have to forgive me. Lakini neno likiwekwa kwangu mimi, I will not apologize. Nitalihubiri tu vile nimepewa. Asante. Sasa I want to move a bit quickly. Ndio labda ikifika pale 12 iko 12 ni ikifika saa 2 mimi niweze kumaliza. Hawa vijana, huyu mtu tumesoma juu yake ni watoto wa Jacob, ni watoto wa Israel. Na sasa Joseph is the second last, and the very last is Benjamin. Benjamin is too small. So we have seen Joseph ameambia, amka, eda msituni utafute ndugu zako 10, because they were 12 in total, madugu zako 10 uangalie hali yao. He wanted to check on their welfare. That was the mission his father sent him to do in the forest. So Joseph wakes up and he comes to the forest. Somebody tells him, wako Dothan. Akaenda Dothan. Na kweli akawapata hapo. Wakiwa bali, Joseph being the last, his father loved him a lot, and alikuwa amemshonea kaguo kenye of many colors. They say a tunic of many colors. Ndio alikuwa amekuja nayo. Akakaribia. Wakiwa bali waliona a dreamer. He had dreamt or dreamed. They didn't like him because he had dreamed. Akasema, niliona baba na mama na nyinyi nyote mkininamia. Hiyo ni kama mwezi na nyota zinainamia jua. Yeye ndiye jua na hao wengine ndio mwezi na ni hao wengine. So they did not like him. That is not where I am. So hapo ni kuwakumbusha tu. So akiwa bali, they saw a dreamer. Now he came closer, and when they came closer, and they are not seeing a dreamer in a good sense, by the way. It is in a mocking way. The dreamer, there comes the dreamer. When he comes closer, they saw a dead man. In that, they will take his tunic, hiyo kaguo ya marangi, alafu wamshike, wamutupe wanaulizana tumuue tufanye nini? Finally, wakamuweka kwa shimo, and finally, washafanya hivyo, wanangoja sasa atakaa huko mpaka akufie huko. Ni huyu mtu wa Mombasa anaitwa nini? Ni Mackenzie mwingine, Paul Mackenzie. Walipata tu kumweka, waligoja tu kuweka mchanga akikufa. Unaona, afasie huko mpaka akufe. Halafu finally they sat down to eat food. Wakaketi chini wakule chakula. Halafu baadaye kidogo, but Reuben actually wanted to have him there. Then later he will come and remove him and tell him, rudi kwa baba yako. But he was not able to do that, because later on, one of them, I think it was Judah, aliona watu wanakuja, wale the merchants, traders, wakipita, wacheni tumuuse. And Reuben had gone somewhere. So Reuben anaporudi alikuta washamuuza. They sold him for 20 shekels of silver. Shekeli 20. Mundu akaima sio. Ndikiwe how much the value that was. But 20 of anything is not very, ni kama shilingi 20 labda. So he was sold that way and he went. So after seeing a dead man, what did they see? They saw business in Joseph. Wakaona huyu mtu tunaweza usa yeye akiwa slave. They saw a slave and they saw money. They saw a slave and they saw money. And that was the end of it. And then the slave goes and they are left with some little money, 20 shekels. So they went fast forward. Let's go fast forward 13 years. We are in Egypt. Tuko Egypt sasa, kwa Pharaoh. Sasa in Egypt, Joseph is there. He has stayed there 13 years. You know the story. When Joseph went to Egypt, he was sold again by the slaves to somebody called Potiphar. Potiphar was like the amiri jeshi mkuu wa Pharaoh. Alikuwa amiri jeshi mkuu. Akauzwa huko. You know the story of Joseph. The dreams continued. He was a real dreamer. And he interpreted the dreams when he was in the prison. And through the dreams, one man was killed, and the other one was reinstated to work. I'm just reminding you the story of Joseph. And then Pharaoh dreamt. And when he dreamt, ikasemekana kuna mtu anajua kuchabua doto. So the man who was released was supposed to remember Joseph and get him out of jail. But he did not. So he remembered him only when there was a dream, a second dream now, from the boss. So he was brought from jail to come and interpret the dream, and the dream comes true. So from that way, Joseph was able to leave prison, and he was actually hired because he was seen to be a wise man, because all the wise men had not been able to interpret the dream, and now he interprets it, and it is true. There comes a famine in Israel. Joseph rose ranks. He rose. He kept rising in the palace. He rose and became the number 2 to Pharaoh. He became like the prime minister. He becomes Gachagua, whereas Pharaoh is Ruto. And so he has a lot of command. He is the one commanding everything. And then there is a famine in Israel. And so Jacob sends these same 10 men, his sons, to Israel to look for food, to buy food actually, because there has been a famine. Remember that famine, Joseph had also interpreted about a famine which is looming. It went as far as Israel and all those lands. So when they are sent there, whom do they find? They find a man. They don't recognize the man, but the man is recognizing them. It is actually Joseph they meet. He's the one in command of all the grain. So they are buying food from Joseph, but Joseph pretends he does not know them. And so what happens? As they negotiate, the story is a bit detailed. I'll go through it just top, juju heavy. So in the first incident, Joseph tells them, you guys, you are spies. So you have to explain whom you are. And Joseph confirms they are his brothers. And so he tells them, you have to go back. You are saying you have another brother. Benjamin did not go. Benjamin used to stay next to his father now. Because Joseph, the youngest, he was cheated, he was eaten by an animal. And they delivered his ile kagua ya rangimigi wakamletea. So what happens? Joseph tells them, you have to go and bring the one you are talking about who is with your father, because you are cheating me. So they are forced to leave Simeon and go back to Israel. The next time, by the way, they are sold, the food is sold, but for some time they are put in the dungeon. They are put in the dungeon for 3 days, then they are released. Then they are told, you have to go to back to Canaan and come back. When you finish the food which you have bought and you are coming back, you have to come back with your brother, Benjamin. And that's what they do. When they come, they buy food again. Remember, their money had been returned in their bags, but now they have to come with the double. They come with the double money. Why? Because they did not know what happened. They did not buy the food the first time. Joseph knew why, but them they did not know. So they come with the old money and the new money. You see, money is being mentioned everywhere. Like the money they had sold Joseph, they have to come with a lot of money now themselves. So they come back with double money, this time with the Benjamin. And when they buy the food this second time, Joseph has not disclosed that he knows them. They buy and they leave. As they leave, again, the bags, when they are being the cup of Joseph is placed in Benjamin's bag. So they go, and before they have gone far, somebody is following them. You have stolen the king's cup. Yes? We are going to check. So they say, check, we cannot do that. You see, even the money we took, we brought it back to you. So when they opened, they found the cup in Benjamin's bag. So they are told, now you have to come, we have to take, whoever has the cup must become our slave. Now when they hear that, how can Benjamin be a slave? And we know if you go back without Benjamin, our father will just die. He had refused us to go with him. But we were, already one son had been left in Egypt. So if we now go without him, the head of our father. So they say, we'd rather come back all of us, we become slaves all of us, whatever will happen then. So they go back. And when they go back, Joseph discloses himself to them. And he tells them, I am your brother whom you sold, and so on and so forth. Now, I have narrated that story, and I want us to see that these people saw a dreamer there in Dothan. When he was coming to check on their welfare, they did not see somebody coming to check on their welfare. What did they see? They saw a dreamer. And it is not a dreamer in good sense, a dreamer in a mocking way. But when they come to Egypt, now they will come face to face with the reality of the dream. Not even the dreamer now, with the reality of the dream. This man is already a prince. He is a prime minister. And that is the reality of the dream. So, people will ridicule your dreams, but one day they will come to terms with your dream, because your dream will be a reality. Wengine watasema huyu haezi enda bali, lakini saida the next episode they will meet you, you will be bali, utakuwa bali. You see, it's 13 years, nothing has happened. The last episode, the last encounter, a dreamer, mockingly. The next encounter, the dream come true. Joseph. Remember, we said they sat down to eat. They sit down to eat as Joseph is in the pit. As they decide, let him die there. They are eating. Isn't it? They sat down to eat when he is in the pit, waiting to die of hunger. And now this time when they come to Egypt, what are they coming to do? They are coming to buy food from the one they left in the pit to die of hunger. Vindu vichenjanga. Na wengine kama wewe si Malagoli unasema na dialect ya kwenu, bindu vichenjanga. Things change. Things change. Because this is the man they threw away to die, and now he is the one they are coming to buy food from. And then as they do that, Joseph, remember, we will put all of them in a prison for 3 days as he decides. First of all, I think he put them in prison for 3 days. He was eating food in the palace. Them, they were languishing, not knowing what will happen to them, because they were told, you are spies, and you will be killed, you will die here. They had threatened Joseph with death, because we will put you in the pit to die. Now, where are they? They are in the dungeon. No, jela za siku hizo zilikuwa ni kama mashimo. Ndio watarudi kwa hiyo mashimo, waiting to die of hunger. The very same punishments they had given to Joseph, they are facing the same now. Sababu vindu vichenjanga. Now, finally, they had been told, if you don't bring Benjamin with you, surely you are going to die. And when they brought Benjamin, something happens that makes them now sure that they are going to be prisoners and they are going to be killed. The same threat they had threatened Joseph with comes back to them, filled to the brim, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. The same things they had threatened. Remember the money. They sold you money for 20. They have to go and look for money, add money to come and buy food. Because what you sow, the same is what you reap. Edvindu vichenjanga. Whom were slave traders? The slave traders. You see, they had made themselves slave traders in a short time. Out of a few seconds like this, we are slave traders, and now we will sell Joseph. The same slave traders will say, when they are caught with the cup, they will say, we are now your slaves. It's not where we read, but if you read the story a bit further, that's what they will say. We are now your slaves. Because they had planted slavery, and they reap slavery. And they reap it in big number. But the good thing as we draw near to the end of our sermonette is that although they had done all these things to Joseph, Joseph did not revenge. We will meet a lot of handles, but there is one thing that we need to be kuna roli inaitwa FH. F for faithful and H for humble. And then I add R and righteous. And that's what Joseph was. And that's how Joseph increased. He became faithful to his God. He became righteous. Remember him in Potiphar's house and the wife and what? Righteousness. He kept righteousness. And then also, he became humble. He humbled himself. And God exalted him. He had all the chance to do anything he wanted to do to his big brothers. But he decided, although I'm boss now, I'm prime minister, I'm king, I'm commander-in-chief, and what have you, I will humble myself and treat these, my brothers, with kindness. And that is our lesson today, to be humble, to be faithful to our God, and to keep righteousness. And God is going to exalt us. If we don't do that, then we don't stand any chance for exaltation, because God says that when a nation is righteous, he exalts that nation. I think that's in Proverbs 14 and verse 34. We need to humble ourselves and be righteous for God to actually exalt us. And may God help us not to be faithful. When we meet people, as we climb up, you are leaving some people behind as you climb. When you are born, you are leaving some children who are behind you. And you have been born, like those brothers of Joseph. When you are looking for money, you are getting more money as you increase. Remember, those you left behind, you might meet them now, you going down, them going up. And that is what happened in the story of Joseph. Because vindu vichenjanga. Tuombe. Baba, tunakushukuru kwa wema na fadhili zako, na kwa kutukubuza kwamba tunyenyekee mbele zako na tuwe watu wenye utakatifu, tunaotafuta utakatifu wako na utatuinua. Tuomba Baba utusaidie katika maisha hii, sababu kuna wale ambao tuko mbele yao, tusione kwamba sisi ni wakuu au ni wakubwa, lakini tunyenyekee machoni pako, sababu wewe ndiye unainua watu. Tusaidie ndio tunyenyekee mbele zako, ndio kweli utuinue. Nao wale ambao wako mbele zetu, Baba, tusiwaonee wivu, lakini tukuombe, sababu wewe ndiye Baba mpaji. Twasema asante. Katika jina la Yesu Kristo ndio tumeomba na kuamini. Amen.
Tunashukuru sana Elda Mwema kwa sababu umetumiwa na Mungu kuleta hilo neno. Na kwa hakika wazee tutakubaliana wote, nchi yetu inapitia mambo mazito. Na tunafaa kwenda kwa maombi sana. Lakini pia tunahimizwa kama vile mchungaji anatuambia, tuulize Mungu ni nini tutaombea. Sio tu kwenda kuomba, but tuulize Mungu ili aweze kutuongoza. Joseph alikuwa ameonyeshwa, na ndio sababu alikumbuka ni Mungu alikuwa amempatia maono ili akaweza kuwa mnyenyekevu hata wakati ndugu zake walipokuja. Basi Mungu akakubariki, na nimejifundisha kitu. Wakati ule wimbo Elda alisema tuimbe, nilikuwa nimeona siujui, siukuwa na ufahamu, lakini wakati alisema tu neno moja nikaukumbuka wote. Nikiwa mchanga, nyanya yangu alikuwa anatuimbia huo wimbo tukienda kufanya mtihani. Magerio ni make, mutikae gwitigira, mugithie gwika kigeranio, mucũthĩrĩrie mũtharaba. Ona inyuĩ athuri nĩ ngũmwĩra tũgĩthiĩ kũrĩa guothe tũtindaga, mawĩra-inĩ maitũ, ona mũkĩrũgamĩrĩra bũrũri kũrĩa mũkũrũgamĩrĩra bũrũri, mucũthĩrĩrie mũtharaba. Nĩ tondũ thogora wa mũtharaba nĩguo ũtũkinyĩtie haha tũrĩ. Jesũ nĩ ariũkĩte nĩguo maũndũ marĩa tũrona me maritũ agatwehereria, agatũthondekera njĩra. I must confess, Elda Mwema harĩa nyuma no twaririe kiugo kĩa Joseph tukiumanĩrĩria, riu hau no akigwa Joseph makiuma wira umuthi. Ngai witu amurathime na amwike wega. Nderwo ni chairman gutire na undu P.C.M.F naguo wakwenda kumumenyithia no kwenda kumucokeria ngatho ni tondu wa gwitikira guka mahoya. Muthenya uria waingira nyumba-ini ya Ngai, it is not in vain. Ngai ni aririkanaga na mahoya ni mekwenda gwitanirwo. Waigua ni ndurona mundu ucio ngimukanagia muhurire gathimo umwire ririkana twina mahoya hwaini tuthie turathimwo hamwe. Umuthi ni nguhoete Ngai muno anjitikirie ngorwo ndi guku na hindi ya nyonire itigarite ithaa rimwe njukire gweterera guku ni tondu ni njui guku ni kuri kirathimo kiria mundu egwatagira. Ni undu ucio ni nguria Elder Kimani oke akigeithia andu na acoke kana njite Elder Kimani nigetha ele session crack kana no ndu atwire na Elder Kimani aturikirie na mahoya.
Katwambire na crack. Thank you.
Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Ndi mwega na ndi muhonoku atheca wa gitau nirio ritwa riakwa. No ngatho ngumucokeria ni undu wa gwitikira guka mahoya. Na otoguo mutongoria auga hingo ingi nitugerie kugucaniriria. Tukoragwo turi aingi makiria mo no tugucaniririe tuke na turathimo ithuothe twi hamwe. Nitukei twigaire kirathimo kuma kwi nyumba ya Ngai. Undu uria wiho no seminar atwikire ikuo Saturday ya aciari na arutwo aria megwika kigeranio, that is grade 6 class 8 na form 4 Sunday thaa 8 nginya thaa 10 moke nigetha maigua aria mekwirwo mathikiririe mugambo wa Ngai. Bwana asifiwe. Elder Kimani.
Bwana asifiwe. Mwathani agocwo. Thu haria ikagio ti hwegowaga. Joseph ni kumutema muteaga no meciragia haria eguthie kugwa handu horu no athire kugwa handu hena tiri wina rutuba tiri munoru na athire gu succeed. Bwana asifiwe. Thank you, Joseph, for reminding us about the story of Joseph. Nderwo tuhoe na kuhoya turugame tuhoe. Baba thiini wa ritwa ria Mũrungu Jesu Kristo, ni mathaa mangi twarikia ningĩ gucokanĩrĩra niguo tugucokerie ngatho ni undu wa gutumenyera kuma riria gukĩire. Ni tukuonete na njira ya mwanya Mwathani mwega kuma riria utwarahurire na watuhe hinya ona wa kumagara, watuhe nginya kĩrĩgĩrĩro kĩa muthenya wa ũmũthĩ. Na rĩu ni tugerete kundu kũngĩ ona kwĩna mogwati. Ni tukuonete na njira nyingĩ Mwathani mwega. Ni kũrĩ moimagarĩte magathie mawĩra-inĩ na makainuka. Ni kũrĩ moima mawĩra mĩgũnda-inĩ yao Mwathani mwega. Ona gũkinyia mathaa maya ma hwaĩ-inĩ wa mũthenya wa ũmũthĩ no hinya waku. Na kũrĩa guothe tũgereire kundu kũngĩ Mwathani kwĩna thũ citũ Jehova mwega, watweherania nacio Mwathani. Rĩu mathaa maya twerekeire ningĩ gũthiĩ kũhurũka no gũtarania tũgũtarania ũrĩa twĩkĩte. Wa mbere ũgaturehere kiugo Mwathani kũhĩtũkĩra ndungata yaku Mwathani mwega, agaturirikania Jehova mwega ũhoro wa kwendana. No ũhoro wa kwendana andũ maciaranĩirwo ona maciarĩtwo nĩ ũndũ wa we kumahotithia Mwathani ona gũtũrania. Nĩ tũkwenda gũcokeria ngatho rĩu mathaa maya Mwathani twarĩkia kũigua kiugo gĩaku. Ona rĩu tũgĩcoka gũtigana Mwathani mwega tũgakwambararia na tũgagũcokeria ngatho nĩ ũndũ wa ithuĩ tũhotire gũka. Nĩ kũrĩ matanahota gũka ona nĩ kũrĩ moima na wendi wa gũka na ũgĩtũrathima nĩ tũgũkũhoya Jehova mwega, ona ndũkariganĩrwo nĩ o kũrĩa marĩ, ũrotuĩka wa kũmonekanĩra. Mahinda maya nĩ tũgũcoka gũtigana, na nĩ tũgũkwenda gũkũhoya Mwathani mwega ũtũmenyerere mĩciĩ itũ ĩrĩa tũtigire Mwathani mwega, tũgĩcoka tũkore arĩa tũtigire mena thayũ waku. Ona ũtukũ ũyũ wa nduma Mwathani mwega ũrotuĩka wa gũtũnyita guoko, na twĩna wĩtĩkio ona rũciũ nĩ gũgakĩa rĩrĩa tũkoiga ũgoco na ngumo itũre Mwathani mwega. Kĩrathime o ũmwe witũ, rathima kanitha waku Mwathani mwega, nĩguo ona rĩrĩa twacoka gũcokanĩrĩra mahinda ta maya Mwathani tũgakuona. Nĩ twahoya nĩ ũndũ wa wĩtĩkio na rĩĩtwa rĩa Mũrungu Jesũ Kristo. Amen. And now may the grace of the Lord Jesus Christ and the love of God and the fellowship of Holy Spirit be with us now and forevermore. Amen. Rekei tũhoere gĩkombe gĩa cai. Twagũcokeria ngatho Mwathani rĩngĩ nĩ ũndũ wa kĩrĩa kĩharĩrĩirio Mwathani mwega. Tũngĩrũya na tũngĩrũma Mwathani mwega, ũrokĩrathima kũrĩ matarĩ Mwathani mwega, ona nĩ kũrĩ matarĩ na mwĩhoko, ona rĩu magĩcoka ona gũthiĩ gũkoma Mwathani mwega, ũmarathime. Twĩna wĩtĩkio we ona mana wanaikũrũkia Jehova mwega, ũgĩtũrathimĩra gĩkĩ, rathima arĩa matarĩ na gĩa kũrĩa Jehova mwega, nĩ ũndũ wa rĩĩtwa rĩaku nĩ twahoya ona twetĩkia. Amen.